hope you are enjoying your time at home. The class and I miss you terribly, and we can't wait to have you back in class soon. For now, I have this video for you to watch for reading, so follow along. You will need a pencil and your Wit and Wisdom blue book. And if you don't have those pages, I will also have a class kick for you. So go ahead and follow along.
Hello, fourth graders. Welcome back to Wit and Wisdom in Sync. I'm Mrs. Webb. Let's get started. In this lesson, you will need your copy of the circulatory story, your Wit and Wisdom in Sync journal, and a pen or pencil. Pause the video now if you need to collect these materials. Today, we are going to look at why a well-crafted introduction is important. We're going to examine the introduction of the circulatory story. Where will we find the introduction? Of course, at the beginning. So everybody, let's get your books and open to page 2. We are going to think about how does the introduction help you understand what the circulatory story will be about. Okay? I want you, and the introduction is kind of long here. It goes from pages 2 to 5. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video and read the introduction, pages 2 to 5, okay? Now, I have the text here on the screen, and I'm going to read this introduction as well. Please follow along as I read aloud. Read with me if you want. Can you feel your heart beating? Ever wonder what's going on inside the veins of your arms and legs? And what's up with bleeding when you get a scrape? It's time to find out how your heart, blood, and blood vessels work together as you take the best ride of your life. It's a trip through the body's circulatory system. Your adventure begins in a tiny drop of blood. All right, now I want you to think back to the painted essay, okay? And all of the different colors, especially in the introduction. I really want you to think about the red and the green parts. Do you remember what those were? The red part is the hook, okay? That's what we say when we're trying to get people interested. That's our first sentence, maybe a couple sentences. We are trying to hook people in, okay? That part is red. Then the green is our focus statement. That's where we tell our main idea, okay? Do you see a hook and a focus statement in this introduction? Here is the hook. Questions can be great hooks as they get people thinking and interested. Can you feel my heart beating? Well, yes, I do feel my heart beating. Yes, I do wonder that. I'm like, man, I can't wait to read the rest of this book and get answers. So if that's the hook, our focus statement is this part. It explains the main idea of the entire book. It's time to find out how your heart, blood, and blood vessels work together through the circulatory system, okay? We know that's what the whole book is about. Okay, so you guys have been working really hard to write your figurative language booklets, analyzing the figurative language in the circulatory story. Today, we're going to work together to write an introduction. Remember, an introduction is so important. It's the first thing your reader reads, and if they don't like it, they might not keep reading, right? So we are going to work together to write a hook and a focus statement for your figurative language booklet. It's weird, but even though the hook comes first, actually a lot of times we write the focus statement first because we really have to know what are we going to talk about. So I want you to think for your figurative language booklet, what would be a good focus statement? What are we talking about? What is our main idea? Well, we're talking about figurative language, right? We're talking about the circulatory story. Our booklets are really trying to explain how the figurative language helps us, right? So maybe we could say something like this. In the circulatory story, the author uses similes and metaphors, remember those are types of figurative language, on almost every page to describe the heart and how it works. How does that sound? Pretty good, right? Of course, if you want to change it, go right ahead. Okay, now what else do we need in our introduction? Yes, our hook. Remember, we have to get people interested. Okay, so how can we get people interested in figurative language, the circulatory story? I mean, both of those things can be really tricky, really confusing. Maybe we could start with a question. How about this? Do you ever feel like authors of science books are speaking a different language? Some of the best authors use figurative language to help readers understand difficult ideas. So you can see, I used a question to get people interested, just like the author of the circulatory story. And then I tried to make a connection with the reader. Have you ever felt like this? Yeah, me too. Come read what I have to say about it. But I'm still talking about the circulatory system and figurative language. So, if you like my introduction, go ahead and use it for your booklet. If you want to write your own, please do. I know you have plenty of great ideas too.
I want you to write this down.
Okay, for our check for understanding today, I want you to explain why an introduction is important. Answer the following question in your Wit and Wisdom in Sync journal. Why is an introduction important?
This is actually
Go ahead and
Schoology.
pause the video to answer this question in your journal.
You actually will be answering this in a Schoology discussion.
So today we reviewed the parts of an introduction and we wrote one for our figurative language booklets. Later today, when you're reading or watching TV, I want you to really pay attention to the introduction of the chapter or the episode. How is the writer trying to get you interested in what's going on? Maybe you'll get some ideas for your next introduction. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.
All right, like I said, you are going to write that down. Let me go back to that for you. It is right here. So go ahead and copy that down. You want to keep this because this is the introduction of your essay that you're going to write. The second thing is you're going to do a Schoology discussion on why is an introduction important. If you need the pictures, I will have a screenshot of those for you too. If you have questions, just send me a message on Schoology. Bye.